Hey everyone, yasas que kalosir to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today I'm going to teach you how to make my chicken souvlaki tortilla wraps. These are so good and they can be on the table in like 20 minutes or less if you prepare the chicken filling ahead of time and keep like a big batch in the refrigerator. These are perfect for meal prep. They're just delicious if you want to get a delicious meal. I keep saying delicious, but they really are. If you want to get a meal on the table in no time that your kids are going to absolutely love. I know sometimes we like to run out for some fast food, but these taste so much better. They have juicy marinated chicken that has all that delicious Greek flavor that souvlaki does, except it's chopped up really small, kind of like very similar to a fajita. That's where I got my inspiration from. There are bell peppers, onions, cheese, and you can serve this with either tzatziki or with my spicy green yogurt sauce. Let's get started. Let me show you how I make them. Okay, we're gonna begin by chopping up an onion. This is a large onion. I'm making a big batch of chicken. It just depends how much chicken you're making, whether you're gonna need a small onion, a large onion, or even 2 onions. So I will probably need 2 onions because I'm making 5 pounds of chicken. I like to meal prep this because it's so good and easy to put a wrap together in like 5 minutes. But for now, I'm gonna finely chop this onion, and then I have 2 bell peppers. You can use any color bell pepper you like. Just chop them up and dice them a little bit bigger than the onion pieces, so that way there's some consistency to them. And you can just put everything in a tray or in a dish, whatever it fits in, while we get the chicken ready. So again, I'm using lots of chicken today. I buy a big 3-pack of chicken, and there's usually 5.5 to 6 pounds of chicken inside of that pack. So I'll use all of it because it'll keep fresh for a few days, and then we can use it as needed. I have tried making this with chicken tenders, and I don't recommend it because the cartilage that's in it just gives everything a weird texture, and taking that cartilage out takes too much time, if you ask me. So I like using chicken breast for this, or boneless, skinless chicken thigh meat. Either one will work. Just cut the breast into several slices and then try to cut the pieces nice and small so that way they cook evenly. I don't like bigger pieces for this just because it doesn't stay put in the tortilla later on. If you can get your butcher to cut this fajita style, that'll be perfect, and it'll be a huge time saver. So put the chicken in a big bowl, and then we're just gonna drizzle a couple of tablespoons of olive oil over it, squeeze some lemon juice on top, and then I like to use white balsamic vinegar for this. You can use red wine. And again, it depends on how much chicken you're using. On the recipe card on the website, I'll put the measurements for 2 pounds of chicken because that's the normal amount that usually people make. If you're making it for a big family, then you can just double it or triple it. Then we'll season with salt, freshly cracked black pepper, crushed red pepper flakes. I like to go in with some ground coriander, ground cumin, and dried oregano, or you could use dried thyme for this if you want. Mix everything all together so that way the chicken is fully coated with all of that flavor. And now it's time to cook everything. So I'm going to begin by putting the bell peppers and onion into a skillet that's heating over medium heat with a little bit of olive oil. This is going to cook for about 8 or 9 minutes, or until the onions and the peppers have softened. You can get a little bit of color on them, but you don't have to overcook them. Carefully transfer them onto a plate or a bowl, wherever you're going to put the chicken in. Probably a bowl would be better. And then we're going to cook the chicken in a few batches. You want to increase the heat at this point to a medium high so that way the chicken doesn't overcook. We're going to make one even layer of chicken into the pan, and I love using cast iron for this. You can use a different pan if you like. Stainless steel works, nonstick will also work. Cast iron retains heat beautifully, so I love using it. The chicken is going to cook about 2 minutes on each side, and then we're going to transfer it into the bowl with the peppers and the onions. Once all of the chicken is cooked, we're going to mix everything all together. And if you think you need to cook some more peppers and onions, the peppers and onions taste so good in this, you can do it at this point. You can also cook some zucchini if you'd like and get some more veggies in here, mushrooms. You can load the veggies in because they're just so good in this. So now we're going to make the sauce. So you can serve this with either a tzatziki sauce, or I like to use my spicy green sauce. This is not Greek, but this is something that when I serve along wraps and sometimes rice and stuff, everyone loves it. So in my mixer, I'll put 1 jalapeno in it, or you can use 1 serrano chili, a small handful of either parsley or cilantro. I'm using parsley, and you can use the stems for this. 1 to 2 garlic cloves. I buy a large bag of garlic cloves, and I just chop them up in a food processor and freeze them, and it just makes life so easy because I put garlic in everything. Otherwise, you can just peel 2 garlic cloves and throw them in here. A little pinch of salt, And then we're going to put equal amounts of sour cream and Greek yogurt. So it depends how spicy you like it. You can add less yogurt and sour cream, so that way there's more of that jalapeno flavor in there. But if you want to make it a little bit milder, you can smooth it out with a little more sour cream and yogurt. We're going to blend this until everything is nice and smooth. You can go in and give it a taste once it's all blended. And if it needs some more salt or anything else, you can add it in at this point. And then we're just going to transfer it into a jar or into a container, and we're ready to put the wraps together. So I'm using these tortillas. I buy them from Costco, and I love them because they're uncooked. They're just ready to go. So they take a few seconds in a skillet that's heating over medium-high heat. I just want to cook them about a minute on each side, or maybe a little bit less. This is what they look like when they're done. And then I'm going to fill them with that delicious chicken and bell pepper mixture. And then I love this sauce. It's also not Greek. It's a Hispanic sauce, a salsa verde. And if you want to use it, you can. If you want to leave it out, you can just leave it out. It just adds really nice flavor to the chicken. So squeeze a little bit of that onto it, and then we're going to roll the tortilla up. You can seal it up on the edges the way I'm doing right now, or you can just roll it and it can be open on the edges if you'd like. We're going to get these back onto the pan. I also put some cheese in there. So muenster cheese is my favorite. You can use mozzarella if you like, a little bit of feta cheese. I also put some feta cheese in them. And then we're going to warm these through on the stovetop for about 1 to 2 minutes total, just until everything toasts up all around and it's nice and warm and the cheese melts and it's gooey and delicious. Once you cut into them, you'll see that the chicken and the mixture is so juicy. I like to dip these either in tzatziki sauce or in that spicy green sauce that we just made. And just like that, you'll have dinner on the table in no time. I hope you guys give these a try. And just like that, my chicken souvlaki tortilla wraps are ready. These are delicious. They're easy to make, and I'm telling you, everyone is gonna love them. I make a big batch of this chicken and I keep it in the fridge. And if I have time, I will actually also wrap up the tortillas and assemble them. I'll keep them wrapped up in foil. That's probably the best thing to do because you can take them straight out of the refrigerator. You can keep this in there for like 3-4 days. They will keep pretty fresh, but you can take them wrapped up in foil from straight out of the refrigerator and pop them either in oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or in your air fryer, and in 10 minutes they will be ready to serve. They're so good with that melted cheese, the spicy hint of sauce in there, the juicy chicken. My mouth is watering. Time for the taste test. So much flavor, and all the flavors go so well together. You can add more things to them. You could add mushrooms to your mixture, double up on the onion and pepper to make it extra juicy and just delicious. If you don't like tortillas, or if you can't find these specific tortillas that I have, you can use already pre-cooked tortillas or Greek pita flatbreads. It'll work with any bread. You can use gluten-free bread if you like. Just the filling is what gives this so much flavor. You can switch out the muenster cheese for mozzarella, add more feta, and just leave the mozzarella out. You can pretty much make these how your family loves them, but definitely do give them a try and let me know what you think. Try that spicy green sauce too, because it is chef's kiss. So good. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. You can print out all of these recipes on my website, dimitrasdishes.com. I'll be back here next time with another delicious recipe. Yes, us.